The Buffalo impact on the New York Mets organization continues to strengthen itself, none larger than what happened this offseason when former Buffalo Bisons manager and Buffalo Baseball Hall of Famer Terry Collins was named the head man. Congratulations first on the honor and the promotion as well. What has this past year ultimately been like for you? Well,
Obviously, with the way it's culminated, it's been pretty special. You know, as I will say here today in my opening remarks, in my career, which has been 41 years now long, anytime the city of Buffalo has been involved, good things have happened. So to come back last year as the field coordinator and deal with the Buffalo Bisons again, and look what's happened at the end of the year, but I'm back in the major leagues, so it's been quite a ride.
Terry Collins was one of the keynotes at last year's Hot Stove Luncheon. Did you ever imagine that, fast forward 1 year in time, from a field coordinator now to the New York Mets manager, that could have happened?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Matter of fact, I took the field coordinator's job because my friend Omar Minaya asked for some help, and I took it, and I really didn't know what was going to happen at the end of the year, and especially at the end of the year when he was let go, I wasn't sure I was even going to be around much longer. I didn't know who was going to be the new GM But I know he brought me in, but fortunately the Wilpons thought we did a pretty good job, and certainly I was going to stay on. But that led to this. It's amazing.
You're the manager. You went back to Buffalo to bring in your bench coach as well, Ken Oberkfell. What made him the right fit for you?
Well, first of all, I've known Ken a long time. He was in Pittsburgh when I was coaching in Pittsburgh. I love his personality. He's got some energy, yet he's a little bit more laid back than me, and I wanted someone a little bit of a contrast. He's a good, very, very good baseball man, and I will tell you, you talk to the players that have played for him, they all like him. They all like him a lot. And that, I just thought, because our club is made up of a number of guys he's had over the years, that he'd be the perfect match.
And Tim Tuffle comes to Buffalo, replacing Ken Oberkfell. You got to know him last year as a manager in your travels as well. What do you expect from Tim?
Well, I will tell you, the Buffalo Bisons will play fundamentally sound baseball. They'll run the bases right. They'll catch the ball. They'll throw to the right bases. He's got a strong leadership. I mean, this team will. A lot of times when you have injuries or you lose players to the major leagues or whatever, it's things that can happen in AAA. I saw this guy rally up last year and keep his club together even during some tough times. So I think they're going. Hopefully we don't have to rate them, but if we don't, you're going to be excited to see the product on the field.
Terry Collins has already named his starting pitcher for opening day. Also, he named the fact that Buffalo will already know a couple of names on the roster. Ruben Tejada, Henry Mejia, a couple of question marks a year ago, already slated for Buffalo. Why move that out of the way right now?
Well, I want these players to understand when they get to spring training what they need to focus on. I don't want doubt. Doubt leads a lot of times to insecurity, and I want these guys to build up some confidence. Henry, he's going to be an outstanding pitcher. He needs innings. He needs to improve his command of his stuff. With our situation in New York, we've worked out hard to get some starting pitching. But if this guy shows us in June that with that electric arm that he's got, if he's ready to pitch in the major leagues, at least he's accumulated innings and bring him up to be ready to start. Unlike last year, where halfway through the year we tried to make him a starter and end up leading to an injury. But you guys saw him here and saw how dominant he can be.
Terry Collins is our guest, the New York Mets manager. It still rolls right off the tongue. I'm sure you're still getting used to it as well because it's been such a whirlwind for you leading up to spring training. What's on the checklist left to do?
Well, I've got obviously lots of functions yet in New York to do. I've got a banquet I have to attend tomorrow. I'll be back next week for another banquet. But starting next week, we're going to open up the complex in St. Lucie, and that's where I'm living at right now. And once the 2 weeks are up, we're going to get ourselves ready for spring training, and the players start coming in, and it's starting to direct ourselves towards ultimately a successful season.
It's not uncommon for the manager at the major league level to talk a lot with his AAA manager. How closely, though, and in the years past as well, have you kept a thumb on what's going on in Buffalo?
Well, when I was at other clubs where I've managed, nobody has their finger on the heartbeat of a team or the players more than the manager of that team. So certainly I will talk to the minor league director and the Rovers, but Tim Tuffle and we're going to have a open line of communication on a daily basis because I want to know what's going on here. I want to know the attitude and the makeup of some of these players on this team, and obviously I will see the results. I mean, I will see the stats and know what they're doing. I want to know how they're going about things.
All right, Terry, thanks so much for the time.
Thanks for having me on.
All right.